Hello and welcome to Viva Las Vegas 2.0. Yes, this is some of the promised content now. Oh boy, it's been a long, strange journey. And I just wanted to say thank you for everyone that has subscribed already, even though I don't really have anything up yet. And hopefully we will we'll have lots of fun. But I wanted to begin because I know it's been about a year and a half, just kind of explaining how I got started in this because it really goes back to September of 2019, and I was appointed as standby counsel. I'd never been never been standby counsel, and they were telling me, well, it's pretty simple. You just have to help with procedures, filing, and formatting, and that sort of thing, because the person represents themselves. They're their own attorney, so you don't give any legal advice. You just have to help them through the system. Well, that's when I met Kim Blandino, and at that point, I knew nothing about LawTube or anything like that. And that was the case that brought me YouTube infamy, if you will. And if you are not familiar with Kim Blandino, oh boy, there's a whole section right here. Our Nevada judges, go and like and subscribe. There is, oh my goodness, how much content is here? There are a whole playlist here dedicated to the case of Kim Blandino. So for like 2 years, I was just standby counsel. He represented himself. I helped him file all of his motions and that sort of thing. But there are, oh my goodness, let's see. Wow. Man, I didn't realize there are that many videos. 46 videos. So do yourself a favor and go watch those because they are, I gotta say, they are pretty entertaining, and it's a wild ride. But I was mortified. It was a very stressful case. Kim represented himself, and after 2 years of just sort of the case not going anywhere, I was appointed as lead counsel, and that was really stressful. This is probably the most stressful case of my career, easily. And so let me say, being standby counsel, I just had to go along to get along. Sure, you want me to help you file that? Yes. Here's the proper format for indexing. Yes, let's get it filed. I'll help you. You're doing great. No legal advice or anything like that. Maybe a sounding board on some things, but it was pretty simple. I just sort of sat back and kind of enjoyed the show. Then I became part of the show. I was made lead counsel when he got stripped of his right to represent himself. So the skill set, obviously, to be standby counsel and to be lead counsel are very different. And when my client got wind that I wasn't going to follow his trial strategy that he had laid out, that I was going to pursue my own, he didn't like that and caused a bit of a fuss. And anyway, go look at the videos and you'll get the proper context. But I had to put on this trial, and then I had the added stress of realizing that our Nevada judges, which is a great channel, if you go like and subscribe to them as well, and just know that they do wonderful stuff. But I was not happy when I found out they were going to live stream the trial, because that was just stress that I didn't need. I mean, imagine, this is bad enough. Imagine doing it, whatever. I think we had like, I don't know, average about 2,000 or 3,000 people watching live, and then a bunch more watching later the recordings. So imagine doing this, but doing it in front of a theater or auditorium of a couple thousand people. And I was really I did not want to hear any of the internet trolls. I was just like, oh my gosh, if you didn't know the proper context of the case, people are going to wonder, why is the attorney doing this? Why is he letting his client testify in the narrative. Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? Without the proper context, I was just mortified of what people were going to say. But I got to say, it was a very, very positive experience. And it was mainly after the, very positive. Everyone was very supportive of me, and that I was really appreciative of. And someone reached out to me found my work email and said, "Hey, here's the number of this attorney in Chicago. He would like to talk to you." And I was like, "Who is this guy?" And obviously it was Mike Gravlin. And I didn't know who he was. I wasn't familiar with it. And I was like, is he like a reporter, or who is this guy? No, he's just an attorney. He's got a YouTube channel. He's real nice. He's not going to do this. I'm like, eh. So she gave me the number, and I texted him. And then he called me, and we got to talking. And he's like, well, hey, you want to come? I was like, no, I don't want to do this. Like, no, we just come on. It'll be fun. It'll be great. And I was like, no. And then he said, no, come on, we'll just go on for just, yeah. And that's a probably little literal quote there. That, yeah. It's just going on live on his channel just to talk. And I was like, all right, fine. We'll go. I'll do it. And I was in my office. I was, the day after doing this trial. And so I'll be honest, I haven't watched this since then because I didn't want to. I'm just gonna react, and I can cringe with the rest of you and look and see how it all started here. My first appearance ever on Law Talk with Mike, and right after my my trial here. So let's watch. Let's see here. Oops.
Hello. This is Attorney Mike Gravlin coming to you from Chicago, as usual, at my office, not as usual. And as you can see, I have the man, the myth, the legend, Ben Bateman, with me here today. Say hi, Ben.
Hello. How are you, Mike? Thanks for inviting me on.
Thanks for coming on. It's really nice to talk to you. I understand that you've been busy recently.
Yeah, I've had.
Yes,
so I haven't called you back. I've been busy. I likened it. Actually, Kim liked this. I likened trial to being on vacation in North Korea. Like you're out of the office, the work piles up.
Oh yeah,
but you're not in any place great.
Oh, I can relate to that. In fact, I did it to myself.
Oh boy! All right. Sorry. This is, have you ever gone back and watched a video of yourself? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm going through. So yeah, it's a little cringy there, but yes, it is. Being on trial is horrible because you just the work doesn't stop, and you can't, you're in court all day. Anyway, yes, it's a great analogy, if I do say so myself.
Even YouTubing it, I've got a bunch of stuff that I wasn't attending to, which I'm I'm digging out today. That's it. But it was a fascinating situation. But it takes over your life, trial.
You 14-hour days. You come, you're there. You have to pay attention. You can't get up only when the judge says, "Okay, let's take a break." And you got to come back and prepare for the next day. What did they say? I am grateful though that I had the weekend before I had to do my closing, or at least to prepare for it. That was great.
well, that's the other thing too when you're there. And in that case, they had two prosecutors, which is typical. They had a second chair or whatever. You're alone. Really alone.
Yeah.
We'll leave that.
Yeah, alone. That was an understatement. Check out Mike with his Time Life operator headset. I just noticed that he's come a long way. This is March of 2022, but yeah, looks like I should be ordering the Old West series from Time Life books there. Look at that. Look at Mike with his little headset there. Oh man, yes, I was alone. It was it's rough
there, but and even described this in one of the things. Said your mind is burning this whole time. First of all, you're like handcuffed to this table. There's nothing you can do. You have to be there. But you are going from, oh, okay, we're going to have a fight, a sidebar about this piece of evidence, to what is the jury thinking, to what is my client going to do, to what is opposing counsel doing, to do I look okay? I mean, and and your mind's just spinning that whole time. When you get back from trial, every day of trial, you just want to collapse, but you can't.
Right.
because the next day you have another witness. You're going, okay, what am I going to cross them on? What am I going to direct them on? And then, just like you said, the argument, I have to have an argument put together. This doesn't even get into surprises that occur during trial.
Right.
Oh boy. Yes. Surprises. Go watch the videos, because yes, there is a lot. There's a lot to take in. There's spilled water. There are outbursts. There are, oh my goodness, objection after objection. And oh man. Yes, and you're never prepared for it. I don't know why I'm reviewing this. This is terrible. Anyway.
And thinking on your feet.
Unexpected, yeah. Unexpected outbursts that just come out. It's like,
oh my God, you've got to see this. I actually just got this. You didn't know this. One of my viewers sent this to me and expects me to put it on. I don't, it might remind you of one of your clients.
Nice.
I don't even know how to tie it.
That's fancy. I don't either.
I did it in my office today, and that made me laugh so hard. So whoever said, I know who it is. Here's visual proof. It got to me.
That's nice. I should learn to tie an ascot. And it's an ascot. He will tell you it's not a. I think some people refer to it as a cravat. He says it's an ascot. So I don't know.
So yes, Kim famously wore his ascot, and Mike, I don't think I've ever seen him wear his ascot ever. So Mikey G, what's going on, man? Someone was kind enough to gift you an ascot, and I don't think I've ever seen him wear it. So if you're subscribed to Mike's channel, let's put some pressure on him to wear the ascot.
Oh, well, that was just something to behold. Did you get any time off or anything, or just have a pile of other stuff lined up? Like,
I got some stuff piled up. I got to get caught up on today.
Yeah, I mean, we chatted a little bit today, and you and I both. We're just pounding away in our offices doing stuff. You're like, yeah, we'll talk when we can. Yeah. Of course, you have things held up because you're there the whole time.
Yeah, I know, and it went longer than we'd expected. We thought maybe we would be possibly done by Friday and maybe roll into Monday, but I mean, we went all the way till the end on Tuesday. Well, I think obviously when I rested, I'm certain it caught them off guard. I think they were expecting me to go on more, and so I think they were caught off guard because they didn't have. I think they were planning maybe a rebuttal witness, they were saying, and so that didn't work out for them. They were
right.
When I did
straight into that rebuttal argument when you.
Oh gosh, do I really sound and look like that when I talk? Okay. But yes, that trial went way longer than it should have. It should have wrapped, Friday or Monday. We went all the way through Wednesday, I think. Oh man, what a nightmare.
When you were done with your argument. Oh, you mean resting with the...
Yes, when I rested, when I wanted to do a little bit of rehab just to for Kim, when he got those letters from the commission, to be able to kind of explain a little bit how to read them.
Well, I don't want you to have to go into anything that you don't want to ask, but this is pretty open. The one thing that surprised me, maybe you can explain this. I guess my question is just, is it normal? And I was surprised that sentencing is set over to July 7th. That seems long to me.
Well, she didn't remand him, so it's an out of custody setting here. So normally here, what's normal is if someone remains in custody, it's about 6 weeks to 2 months, their sentencing after they're after their plea or after their conviction. And if they're out of custody, it's usually about the 4 months or so.
That makes sense.
Normal here.
So they're what are they? They're just looking for time to get like a pre-sentence investigation,
right,
and all this kind of stuff.
Correct.
And if he's out and whatever, I don't.
Yeah. So that's normal. Normal for, yes, once someone is either found guilty or pleads guilty, they're out of custody. A 4-month date, still about standard. Actually, it's gotten a little bit better. I've noticed we're jumping it down to about 3 months, not quite 4 like it used to be, but this was still right. This is what, March of 2022. So we still have some COVID backlog that made it go long. But man, this is, this is bringing back lots of memories.
I don't want you to begin to specific. Well, they said it right there. He has a leg monitor, and she I think elevated his stuff. So they have a good tether.
Right.
They have a good tether on him, but he's not in custody. So
right. And I mean, that was one of my points in my argument that he has the ankle monitor. So that's Metro, the police run the jail, and they're in charge of that sort of monitoring. And he's also out on bail. So he's got 2 sort of, the police will come with the ankle monitor if there's any issue with the ankle monitor, and if he skips bail, they'll send Dog the bounty hunter or someone to go get him.
Okay.
Now that would be great.
So
Dog
now
the bounty hunter hunting Kim Blandino would be a great episode.
I would live stream that. Let me assure.
Yes, now there's a good idea. Now that would be good content, better than what we're watching now, right? But yes, could you imagine that? Dog the bounty hunter going after Kim Blandino. Oh boy.
Let me assure you. So are you a public defender? This is more of a
no.
thing. I actually don't know. All right. Are you on a list of people that they appoint? Is that how it works?
Correct. So I was appointed standby counsel. I'm just a solo private attorney, and I had a contract with the county for conflict work. And at that time, I was just receiving. I didn't have what's called a track. Like I didn't have an assignment in the department, one of the courts at that time. So the man that runs the program, they call it here the Office of Appointed Counsel. And so he called me up. He's like, "Have you ever been a standby counsel?" I said, "No." He's like, "Well, I got a case for you."
Now we know the rest of the story. Who's
you're right.
Guy?
He's like,
"Who's that guy?"
Yeah, standby counsel. He's like, "Now look, they're their own attorney. You don't have to give him. You're not supposed to give him legal advice. Just sort of help with filings, help with procedure."
Maybe I should have watched this before. I've already gone over this. So there you go. Oh man, this is. Hopefully you're enjoying this because this is really cringy for me to watch myself.
That things of that nature.
Right.
So I'm like, all right. And he said, so you shouldn't have to.
What could possibly go wrong?
Right. You shouldn't have to do too much. Just like, yeah, so you shouldn't have to do too much. Well, that dragged on and on and on until eventually I alluded to it in the, in our arguments for remand, because he files a lot of things. I said, look, Judge, they all go through me now. Don't worry about filings. But when I was standby counsel, my role really was to just file. So, I filed stuff that I made that argument that I would never, ever file as an attorney. These things that he wanted filed. So so when that dynamic changed, it was rough. Because obviously the skills that you need to be a standby counsel are very different.
I've heard
than
this
what
before.
You need to be lead counsel.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's more sort of go along to get along as standby counsel, because it's his show to run.
Right.
And I just filed it. A couple times I was like, I don't know if this is, but he wanted it filed, and so I filed it for him.
You're detached from it. You can just say, all right, I'm not endorsing this, but here's what he wants to file.
Correct.
When Judge Levitt revoked his right to self-representation, and then you became counsel, things did things did progress better. Seeing it from a distance, sort of observing this on YouTube as I do.
Progress better, yes. It finally like went forward. Man, we that happened in December. I got appointed. It was the beginning of December, I remember, and she was like, "Nope, your counsel. We're setting this for trial. We're getting this done." So we went back, and then we had another court date to go back to set the trial date, like a couple days later. And in the meantime, I spoke with the prosecutor, kind of reviewing our schedules, and we're like, "Yeah, it looks like about the beginning of May we're available." So I went to the judge, and we said, "Judge, when the judge has stacks for criminal trial, because Judge Levitt has a split caseload between civil and criminal." We said, "Okay, we're ready in about the beginning of May." And she was like, "What, May? No way. That's like it's the beginning of May. That's too far." So we did this right at the end of February. So about 3 months just to get all this together. And man, it was a chore. So really, if you're not familiar with the Kim Blandino case, go watch it and get a proper context for this.
Yeah, so it did, and that's clearly he didn't like that, and so I think partly is when he realized that I was
Come on, Mike. Turn off your phone.
Well, see what I said. Going along to getting along as standby counsel, he might have thought that I was kind of on board with his trial strategy.
Yeah,
which was very, very broad. I'll just say that. I want to be very focused on just these charges and really hang our hat on intent, really, that he was just, he's Don Quixote. He's trying to do the right thing, maybe, but not doing it quite as well as, or the right way that he should have, but his heart's in the right place. He's trying to save Spain by tilting at the windmills, but
well, all I can tell you is I'm glad you came on. And one of the things I actually feel compelled to tell you, and I did privately, but I want to say it so everyone else can hear it. We all saw the situation you were in and appreciated the efforts you put forth. That's the overwhelming thought, at least in my community. People see what was happening, and I think you did a great job of trial. I really think everyone did. I honestly think the prosecutors did.
Yes, that was my big fear and concern. But yes, Mike and everyone has been so kind still, even 2 years later, so nice and so kind to me after this ordeal, because man, it was a chore. It was a chore.
It's a nice work. I think the judge called a good trial. I'm looking at it from a distance, but I have been a litigator for 25 years, so it's not from nowhere that I say those things.
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, that was kind of one of my concerns. Is if you didn't know the whole context of the case, it might look a little weird. Of why?
I told you I didn't watch this beforehand.
Why are we doing things the way we're doing? But
I tried to provide some context as we went along. So I just want to thank you. You got me busy. I don't want to take up more of your time. Oh wait, no, there's one. Hey, have you ever represented a sovereign citizen? I got to ask you that because I do a lot of sovereign citizens.
A sovereign citizen? No, I haven't. I did meet with a couple when I was standby counsel. I had a couple that. Actually, just one that actually came and met with me in my office and was asking me some questions of things, and I was
can we dispute jurisdiction and this sort of stuff?
Some certain things. I was like, well, I don't know. And then he gave me some case references. I looked them up, I printed them off, and I said, that's probably about as all I was gonna be able to help you with. I mean, I wanted to be, I don't want to be a a total jerk, but I was, and he was nice. I don't, it wasn't. I don't know. Wasn't what you'd think. I honestly was some wild-eyed, crazy sovereign citizen. But he just came in and asked me a few questions, and then he said, "Hey, can you look up a couple of these?" He gave me some citations. I looked them up. I found them, and there were like 2 cases, and I printed them off for him. And he went on his way. So that was about it.
How long have you been practicing?
Since 2005.
So
And
a good long time, and
Yeah.
and have you been doing like primarily criminal defense type stuff that whole time?
yes, primarily criminal. I started off my career doing bankruptcy, but I've
Mm.
been doing criminal pretty much since about 2007, 2008.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
You
So
seem to have things
mostly,
under control.
well,
All right,
try
I
to
seriously,
as much as I can.
I'm going to cut this off. Only it was great that you were on here. What I want to have you on again. What we're going to do, what I propose, we'll see. If I can find a good clip that you can come on, because I'll do that, and then you can react to it with me. But it's got to be not in Nevada. Like it can't be about judges that you might see and that kind of thing.
Yes, please.
You know, I'll find.
But remember,
and that's how it started. Oh boy, yeah, come on. You know, I tell you, man, Mike, he's a charming fellow. And then, yes, the rest is history, I suppose.
Find a fun clip out of Florida or something, and then
fantastic. But if you do find a clip, anyone can file a complaint to the Nevada Commission on Judicial Discipline. There's one thing we learned from the trial. So anyone watching anywhere is welcome to submit a complaint.
Oh
dear.
All right, Ben. Thank you very much.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
All right. Bye.
Oh boy, there you go. That's how it started. And yes, I went back, watched some clips, watched some more clips, and then he kept pestering me and badgering me. Hey, you need to start your own channel. You need to start your own channel. I'm like, no, what am I going to say? I don't know what to say. And that's still the case. I still don't know what to say, as you can well see. I have no idea. But anyway, that was my very first foray into LawTube there as a guest on Law Talk with Mike. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed that, because I sure didn't. That was just embarrassing just to watch you do anything up there in my office. Poor lighting. Oh man. Anyway, so yes, hopefully we will have some more fun here and more cases and more content coming. Appreciate you sticking through this and watching, and go watch the Blandino stuff, get more context on this, and we will see you later, huh? Bye.